All right, everybody, you can see we've got 1 minute left here in practice before drivers make their qualifying laps here at Daytona in the evening. Say scheduled 75 laps here this evening. So yeah, definitely want to thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome again to Green White Checkered TV with the Area 51 Racing League. 87 Cup Series at Daytona. Right now, showing 13 drivers going to take the field this evening. And yeah, I'll say like Josh just mentioned there, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a handful for these drivers. Say these cars again, they go fast, they don't turn very well, they don't brake very well, which makes it all the more interesting for the drivers and of course for the fans as well. So it's gonna be pretty exciting to see watch these drivers try to kind of wrangle these monsters tonight. So again, definitely thank you all for joining us. Looking forward to it. So I'm going to have a little bit of help tonight in the booth as I'm going to do admin work / maybe learn a little bit of commentary. So once we get the qualifying session underway here, we'll move a little bit forward on that one. And then we will also get our little intro video going here in just a moment. So we'll chat here soon. All right, so qualifying just about completed here. Looks like everybody's made their lap time, so we'll go over the starting grid here in just a moment. Yes, I was double checking on that intro video that you're asking about there. I would say we're not sure what it is offhand. I'll see if we can hunt it down a little later. It sounds like it's one of those ones you had. It's one of those like license-free ones where you're kind of free rights to use. That way you don't get lawsuits and all those terrible things against you. So we'll have to do a little more research on that, though. I'll give you some more info here. Hopefully in one of the next times around. So with that being said, though, so I'm going to be joined this evening by one of the admins, one of the racers / my father. So that's going to be fun to have him kind of get stuck up here in the booth with me. So I've got Jim Brooks with me this evening. He's one of the admins here, runs that number 76 Unical car most of the time. So again, he's going to be doing some admin work. Maybe chiming in a little bit here and there, get his feet wet with this, and then we'll see if he pulls we'll get the Ned and Dale Jarrett skills going on here this evening.
Well, thanks for allowing me in, Gael. It should be interesting, especially to see how things go on this side of the camera and the microphone. You've been doing a good job, so I'll try not to step on your toes.
That's what toes are meant to be stepped on, so no worries there. As you know, I've had a lot of learning as I've gone with Steve on the Tuesdays with the Indy cars, and then I've got Don on Thursday nights, and then of course Roy on the Sunday evenings. So it's been a lot of fun having somebody with me, having those extra set of eyes with everything going on the track, and of course you can probably give a little bit more insight too on the back end side of things with the work you guys have to do with working on. I know you guys do a lot of hard work with setups and with the with everything like that for the league. So I'm sure some of that insight will be definitely appreciated by the people here tonight.
Yeah, I'll do what I can.
All right, so with that, we're going to pull up our starting grid this evening. On the pole position is James Ledford getting the pole position there. Roy Wheeler is going to pull off in second position. Chad Wilkes is going to start third. YouTube sensation, fan favorite Josh Sichterman is going to start in the fourth position. Eric Schau, definitely, I know a fan favorite. Hopefully she's watching this evening. Again, apologies again, Rachel, for the jinx for Eric last night. Hopefully don't do that again tonight. Then you got Todd Merkel starting in 6th, Gabe Butler in 7th, Michael Spell is in the 8th position. And then 9th through 13th here, you've got Ted Deckard Jr., which I saw Deckard here in the chat on YouTube as well. So you got to hunt you down there. So definitely, I'm sure you got some fan club there as well. Kenny Kolakowski starting in 10th, Art Peck 11th, Robbie Richards 12th, and Dwight Plesh in 13th. Glad you're joining us, Rachel. Yeah, again, apologies for last night. That commentator's curse is real, so I'm going to try to do better this evening, not to jinx your husband there. Steve and I were able to have a pretty good chat with him last night and kind of go over things and hopefully settle him out a little bit too. So we were joking that he'll have to calm you down too after we calmed him down a little bit. But I wouldn't worry too much. He's usually one of those ones up front. So hopefully he just has some of that better luck this evening, and we'll see how this one goes after 75 laps. So we were able to get some info from Michael Spell, who's in that 88 car. Actually, I think it's going to show us the number 3 car for you guys. He is saying it's roughly about 25 laps on fuel, so if we go green, should be a 2-stop race. However, this track is definitely still tricky, even though it's a plate track. With that, though, green flag is out, and when I say plate track, not really with these cars. They don't have restrictor plates, so they go very quickly down the straights, but they do not want to turn, so that's where the difficulty comes in. However, we mentioned before in these other races that the critical thing is getting through those gears, and looks like so far they've done a really good job getting up to pace there. You can see James Ledford, Roy Wheeler side by side. Chad Wilkes just edging out Josh Sichterman there for 3rd, and then you've got Eric Schaus in that 5th position. Yeah, so I think trouble spots are going to be the entry of turn number 3, especially on that high side. You can see already Roy Wheeler gets a little loose on the entry of 3. That's one of those things he's going to have to be extremely careful for, as are the other cars around. That's going to definitely be a trouble spot that we'll see tonight. And then the tri-oval, is as much as you think it's an easy turn, these cars actually really slide through that tri-oval. Again, it's also narrower than Talladega, so that adds a little bit of difficulty as well. But so far so good as we complete that first lap. James Ledford led the lap, but I say he's still under attack here from Roy Wheeler. You've got Chad Wilkes right there, Eric Schaus and Josh Sichterman all together right here in that top 5. Just hiding there a little bit further in the back is Todd Merkel in the 81 car.
Yeah, Gail, this is a setup that I modified after we had some trouble with a practice race. And to me, how I describe it is it's lazy getting into the corners, especially on the high line. I think that's why you're seeing that with Roy. You need to turn in just a tad earlier. It's much more stable on the low line, so it takes some extra work to maneuver it up top.
Yeah, so, actually, as it happens, Roy's going to get loose and he's going to make some contact. Oh, we've got a bunch of cars involved here. We're going to have a yellow right off the bat. And I'm saying I don't think too many got away with that one. I think maybe Ted Deckard may have been one of the few to sneak through there. That's going to put us under the first yellow and say, unfortunately, it was that 98 Roy Wheeler getting loose, making contact, unfortunately, with James Ledford as well in that 48 car. See, everybody looks like they're able to get going here again. So again, we talked about the pit strategy of saving the fast repairs. You see Eric Schaus, unfortunately, got some motor damage there. He's going to have to use a fast repair. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what happened under this yellow. But I see a lot of cars with damage here, so going to be some repairs being done on this first yellow. So we'll go back just a little bit and try to find where, as we kind of saw it starting from the get-go. Say we'll pull it up here. Say watching that 48 of James Ledford, Roy Wheeler to his outside. You see them both get loose on entry, but then Roy just gets really loose. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Kind of unfortunately catches the right rear of that 48. He can't hang on to it. You see Chad Wilkes. He goes for a ride right into Eric Schaus there. And you see Josh Sichterman gets on the brakes hard, but unfortunately just not enough to get off of that 48 car. Saying he gets a little bit of contact from behind as well. So again, like I said, a lot of cars involved this one. I think one of the few that snuck by is going to be that 79 of Ted Deckard. I think pretty much everybody else may have gotten a piece of that one. So again, we're going to see a lot of damage, I think, being repaired. I see a few drivers, I think, getting some fast repairs done, getting service done now. And then they'll come back on out here. But right now, showing our race leader as that 81, I believe the 81 of Todd Merkel. I'll see Chad Wilkes right now showing the lead here. So I think we're going to see a lot of pit stops here in just a moment. So again, though, that is the benefit of those two fast repairs. That's going to be able to get some of these drivers back into the mix here. So we'll double check to see that 72 is able to limp this thing around. Yeah, sure enough, he's able to catch up here. So you see, all looks like pretty much. I think we're going to see the whole field in here, probably tires and fuel, and of course damage repair as well. You can see damage to that 17 of Chad Wilkes as well. So say now it's going to be that strategy call of fast repairs versus just getting the damage repaired itself. Because that could definitely play an outcome in this race as it goes on. You see there, 17 Chad Wilkes definitely used a fast repair for himself. So I'm not sure about the others at the moment. Yeah, so I know the 72 was going to. But if I'm some of these others that maybe has some minimal damage, I would consider just doing just regular damage repair and getting back out there. So so say we're under yellow at the moment. So again, we'll step away for just a bit until we get that one to go, and then we'll rejoin you here and re-grid these drivers. All right, lights are back off of the pace car. Everybody's lining back up here. Looks like I had a handful. Go ahead and are going to pit here. Get some more of that damage repaired, it looks like. However, that 81 of Todd Merkel, he's going to be shown as our leader here, so he's going to lead the field to green. It's like second place is going to be that 199 of Josh Sichterman. Third is that 17 of Chad Wilkes. And then in fourth is the 79 of Ted Deckard. Ted Deckard Jr., excuse me. So we'll see how it looks like pit strategy wise. Looks like mostly 4 tire stops. It looks like Josh may have just taken fuel only there. So we still got a long ways to go here. 70 to go. Looks like unfortunately Art Peck in the 36 may have retired from the race, so it's going to leave us 12 drivers in the field, all still on the lead lap as well. So everybody's getting lined up here with that pace car as we go through turns 3 and 4. And we're going to get things going again. I'll say again, everybody made pit stops, so for sure everybody's going to be easily good to go now on 2 stops to the end. I'll say, and I'm sure you're going to see some drivers adjust their strategies a little bit just with they've seen now how much of a handful it is sometimes entering these turns, so they'll probably have to be a little more careful, probably a little more tentative, and then we'll see how this next run goes here. There, the pace car drops off to the inside. Wait for that green flag to fly. And so you see the 81 Todd Merkel going to lead the way. Eric Schaus right next to him. And again, it's going to be a battle of who can get through the gears. And so far, that 199. Oh, it looks like he may have missed that 3rd or 4th shift. Possibly see him get way up in the up on the top there. Probably just trying to get out of the way. But he'll easily be able to regroup here and get back into the draft and work his way back to the front here. However, that's going to get the lead here still to Todd Merkel. Chad Wilkes right behind him. Ted Deckard Jr. in 3rd. You see right away Chad Wilkes going to try to work this top side as they go through the backstretch. But right now you see Ted trying to decide which lane he wants to go with. He was starting low, but he's going to move to the top side. Again, we talked about how tricky that turn is. You have to be extremely careful. Looks like the 12 of Robbie Richards may have gotten a little too high. Looks like he's recovered all right, though. 14 having a bit of a moment there, too. But so far, so good. We're able to keep everybody pointing in the right direction and keep things moving here. Oh, you see the 14 car, I believe that is. So he's stuck on the wall. Oh, and he gets contact there. He cut the wall. He's trying to get off of it. Unfortunately, just couldn't get off the wall there. It's Kenny Kolakowski. He took a pretty hard shot from that 44 of Dwight Plesh. So, unfortunately, that's going to be our second yellow here. I say, looks like Dwight's definitely got some nose damage. That 14 car doesn't look as bad as I would have expected, to be honest. But yeah, so that's going to get us back under yellow here on lap number 8. So we'll say we'll go back and see how this one how this one unfolded. It looked like he just caught the wall, unfortunately, a little bit in turn. Let's see.
Yeah, he hit the wall and then he came back down. Looked like he was going to get off of it, and then I think he was afraid he was going to go down too far and try to turn back, and then that really put him in the wall.
Let's see. Yeah, pulling it up right now here. Yeah, so these cars kind of stick to the wall pretty badly. So I see where he's coming from, unfortunately, on that. I mean, you see as he enters turn 1 just a little bit higher than those around him. You see there he gets just caught up into the wall here. You see there he's stuck up against the wall. He's got it off of it, but then that's where he gets that second hard hit up into it, and that's what just throws him down the track. Unfortunately, again, onto the path of some more of those cars here, so you'll see as they sneak on by there. And I say these cars just, they don't react well. I don't know if it's something with iRacing or not, but they just do not react well with the walls here, or in general. So you see the 48, the one sneak by, but unfortunately that's the 44. Dwight Plesh just couldn't quite sneak by. So yeah, that's what put us under this most recent caution. You see, oh yeah, Dwight actually caught the outside wall a little more, so pretty heavy damage for that 44 car. So actually, yeah, he's got motor damage as well, so he's going to have to for sure use a fast repair here. Hopefully this will be his first, that way he still has some more opportunity to get some repairs done. And I think we're going to see some of these drivers a little further in the back are going to get some service done to their cars as well, like James Ledford and the one of Gabe Butler. So again, not sure if they use fast repairs or not, or maybe just trying to get their cars fixed through the game itself to save those fast repairs for later. However, yeah, everybody else there, the 44, of course, is in, as is the 14. So again, while we're under yellow here, we'll step away for just a moment. Race leader still being shown as Todd Merkel in that number 81 machine. So we'll rejoin you here shortly on the 1 to go. All right, lights are back off on the pace car. Yeah, say we got a celebrity up here with me tonight, bud. So, say he's trying not to steal the show too much from me, trying to be polite and all that. But say we know who everybody's here for now. And yeah, Rachel, say right now, say definitely a good front row for you here with those two, Todd Merkel, Eric Schaus, of course. So say again, we're going to see another restart here. Again, it's going to be critical getting through those gears. Saying we're going to have a few drivers on slightly different pit strategies. I don't think it's going to be enough to play an outcome in the pit stops or anything in that in this race. Say just maybe be able to pit a little later or take a little bit less fuel. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how that one all goes. But again, still showing the top 12 on the lead lap here. So say Todd Merkel, Eric Schaus going to lead that front row. In third place, let's say our YouTube sensation fan favorite, Joshua Sichterman. And then next to him, that's 17 of Chad Wilkes, and Roy Wheeler up in the 5th position.
I think they just need to settle in here and run some laps, and then you can get your confidence up and then probably worry about the racing car.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I say as we get going here, say the first step of that is getting through the gears, and that's always a tricky one with these cars. Again, we have to be so just spot on hitting those gears. You gotta be very deliberate getting down the clutch pedal. You definitely can't shift these things like you can the newer Cup cars. And it looks like that 72 Eric Schaus is going to grab the lead on that start. So he's going to drop right in front of the 81 of Todd Merkel. And on the top side, you see Chad Wilkes going to try to work that top side with Robbie Richards right behind him. And that third car on the inside row is, again, that 199 of Josh Sichterman. So you can see these guys just definitely a little bit wobbly entering these turns. I say, like you said, I think maybe trying to gain some of that confidence and get a better feel for these cars, especially when you're running tight corners like they are right there. You see a close call there between that 12 of Robbie Richards and I believe that was the 81 of Todd Merkel. They're able to keep it clean and green still, but I'm sure it was definitely one that caught their attention there on the entry though. So still so far so good. You see James Ledford there kind of hanging in the back. I think he may have maybe trying to save some of those faster pairs to get him far enough away from the back, because I don't know if we talked about that or not, but these brakes in these cars are not very effective. So it's really tough to get slowed down for these wrecks compared to some of these other cars that you would be running with. So right now, though, up front, though, still running 2x2, though. Say Chad Wilkes trying to make this top work around that 72 of Eric Schaus. So he's got a little bit of help now from that 199. However, that 72's got some pretty good help from the 81 as well here. So these front four have just barely snuck away a little bit from that second group with Roy Wheeler and Robbie Richards, but again, they're just a couple tenths back, so just a little bit of a tow. So these things bring out a big draft, so they'll be able to pull right back up into this mix should they want to. But again, this might be maybe everybody's going to try to settle in a little bit here and let this race unfold, and then be able to make some moves as the field spreads out a little bit. You can even hear these tires just screaming as they go through the turns. Again, these things not meant to do what they're doing. You see Todd Merkel got a little bit of a wiggle there. He's able to gather back up as they slide through turn number. Oh, close call between that 72 and the 199 is going to hang on to it. So now you got to see if they can give each other a little bit of room. As you saw that 12 trying to find some space in there. That's the 12 of Robbie Richards. He's able to hang on to it as well. So we're going to stay green. Good hands by that 199 of Josh Sichterman to keep that thing out of from spinning out, actually. But yeah, so that's going to spread things out just a little bit now between those top three. You can see they're all lined up here together, and so you can see it's kind of spread this field out just a tiny bit. I say right now we're on lap 15, coming to 16, so we're going to come to 60 to go here. Again, right now, Chad Wilkes leading the way in that number 17 car. So he was talking about trying to shake some of that bad luck off earlier. I think it was actually last week, I want to say. So he's hoping to kind of keep that momentum going the right way for him in that 17 car here.
Yeah. Some really good driving between Eric and Josh. That was a wreck that just didn't happen because they banged pretty solid.
Yes, and that trial was one of the harder places to really, especially to run side by side. Just, I mean, you'd think it's an easier turn, but it has so much less banking. It's actually one of the harder turns really with these cars. You just have to put so much wheel. Oh, as you see the 12 Robbie Richards, he catches the outside wall. He's going to spin it down into the pit road entry. It looks like we're going to stay green. He's able to keep it off the inside wall here. Going to try to get it spun back around. We'll see if he's going to hop back on track. Looks like he will. And say that should be able to get him back up and going. However, yeah, it's going to cost him a lot of track time here. But let's say up front of that 199, Josh Sichterman, he's recovered from that slide. He's back up into the mix here as well. As I believe we're pretty, I thought we were three wide there for a second, but we go back to double file here. You can see the angle of those cars, especially from this blimp view here. You just see the cars kind of kick out to the side as they enter these turns. That's kind of what we're talking about with them just having to really wheel these things. So right now these top five, though, they've snuck away by about 2 seconds over 6th place Gabe Butler as they go through the trial. It looks like Eric Schaus is going to lead that lap. Again, he's got a little bit of help from that 81 of Todd Merkel. And then right behind him, he's got the 98 of Roy Wheeler. And up top, you've got the 17 of Chad Wilkes and the 199 of Josh Sichterman here.
These guys just can't let it go. They got to stay 2 by 2, huh?
Oh, that's going to hurt Chad Wilkes. He's stuck in the wall. He's going to try to see if he can get it unhooked. He does. That's actually a really tough thing to do there. It's really easy to get it off the wall and then just kind of throws the car out uncontrollably. So, a little bit of contact for him. That's going to move him now back into the 5th position. Just a little bit out of the draft possibly too. So it's going to probably open him up into now that second group with Gabe Butler leading the way. So now things are starting to get a little more single file, but as soon as I say that, you see that 98 and the 199 here side by side for that 3rd spot. Right now we're on again lap 19 of 75. It'll be lap 20 next time around. But right now, Eric Schaus leading the way. Todd Merkel right behind him. Looks like the 199 of Josh Sichterman might be able to sneak around here. That 98 of Roy Wheeler through 3 and 4. And he does, so he's going to follow at the moment. Yeah, I had a feeling we are going to see Josh stay to that top side. He's been getting some pretty good momentum through that top side. You just got to be a little careful. We got to make sure those cars next to him don't wash up too much there on the exits. So, and as I was saying, Chad Wilkes losing draft. He's right back on it here. He's trying to chase these drivers back down here. So they're trying to look at the lap times there. Actually, that last time around, yeah, he was actually one of the quickest cars on track with a 43.7. Where these leaders are actually running low 44, so you can see there he's already back into the draft, and he's going back to try to get back up into the front. And that single file didn't last long. We're back double file here with these top 4 drivers. Saying Josh trying to work this top of that 72 car, see if he can snag this lead here off of 4 at the line, see if he's able to get a lap led. Looks like Eric Schaus have the momentum this time, but he's definitely starting to make some gains there on that top side.
Eric is really smooth, though. You can see he's not overdriving it, and that's going to be important for the tires too as this run goes on longer.
That's a really good point, because so usually at plate races you really don't even think about tires as just fuel, but with these cars, tires do come into play, as saying. So yeah, if they're as I say that the 99 gets loose, he got contact with the 98 of Roy Wheeler. They all stay straight somehow, so we're gonna stay green. But some pretty heavy damage to that 199 car. Say we'll see if he's going to try to see if he can limp this thing around and keep going until possibly a yellow or just scheduled green flag stop. Roy Wheeler has a little bit of damage to that 98 car as well. I say we'll double check on the 17 of Chad Wilkes if he's got any additional. I think he's doing okay. So I say you can see though, just even up front, they say things are definitely still getting pretty busy, but again, this is starting to let these top two now, say Eric Schaus, Todd Merkel, let them sneak away just a little bit. But yeah, like you mentioned, that 72 car is definitely running a very smooth lines here. I say one thing that you usually see with these cars, at least maybe not with this setup, but with some of the other setups, is they kind of wander on the straightaways, and it's really hard to kind of run them to hold the straight line. You kind of sway back and forth a little bit, but that 72 has been doing a really good job of keeping that thing straight. So right now those two are leading the field again here as we're approaching 50 to go and just a couple more laps. Again, I say that 17 here though, Chad Wilkes, he's going to try to chase these two down and get right back up into this top 3 mix. I think that damage of Roy Wheeler though, I think that's going to maybe make it a little more difficult for him to chase these guys back down, because he's almost 4 seconds back, actually is 4 seconds back now of this lead 3. And he's got about 3 seconds on that next car, which is Ted Decker Jr. in that 79, which he's in a bit of a gaggle himself here with James Ledford, Michael Spell, Gabe Butler's in there as well. So these guys are still in a little bit of a battle themselves here.
I think what happened on that last incident, Gaio, was that Roy got up pretty close to Josh's spoiler there, and if you do take the air off the spoilers of these, it does definitely take the grip away. And it seemed like Roy just kind of closed up a little closer in the turn, and that was it. He started coming around. I think that's what caused it.
Yeah, saying that is definitely something that I say kind of a combo too of him being right on that back bumper, and of course that top side just seems like it's a little bit looser on entry. Say that combo, those two definitely will get that car extremely loose. So really good job by all those drivers able to keep it pointed in the right direction and stay green here. Let's say again we're going to be 50 to go next time around. So again, the question is going to be on the pit stop strategy. Again, I think we're going to see if they want to break it up evenly. I think we're going to see drivers in the next couple of laps, because around lap 50, maybe go stretch a couple just in case of like a green-white checkered finish. But yeah, that might be when they start thinking about hopping into the pits here. So, and that's going to be a whole nother thing too, because these cars are not easy to slow down. And again, they're going right here through the turns. They're going about 200 miles an hour even through the turn. So they're going to have to drop that thing down all the way to, I believe it's 55 or 65 miles an hour with some pretty terrible brakes on these cars. So jump back, Roy Wheeler still hanging on to that 4th position. However, like we mentioned, he's got a pretty big group of cars not too far behind him. James Ledford and then Ted Decker Jr. still running side by side here for that 5th position. Right behind them is that one of Gabe Butler. Josh Sichterman able to recover pretty well here, still hanging on to this draft here, still shown in the 8th position. So say for all the damage he has, he's actually hanging on pretty well here with this draft. And then right behind him you've got Michael Spell. And then you've got Kenny Kolakowski in that 14 car. And then also, the 44 of Dwight Plesh is with this group as well.
Yeah, the 98 just got swallowed up by that group. So now that's the biggest group on the track, is the second.
Oh, close caller with Ted Deckard and the 98 Roy Wheeler. So you can see Roy's trying to get to that top side, get around that 90. Again, he's got some damage, which is definitely hurting his top end speed. I think Roy will be in pretty good shape once he gets the draft of these cars, so I think he'll be able to cycle in and kind of blend in with these guys pretty well here. But just, I don't think he has that pace to lead this group here, which I'd say that's where James Ledford is going to come into play there, and I think that's kind of the same boat there for that for the 199 of Josh Sichterman as well. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on the leaders, see if they pit here. No, they're still staying out. Say this is going to come around to 48 to go. They talked about the fuel window being roughly 25 laps or so. Obviously, that's going to depend on the draft as well. Looks like the rest of the field is staying out here also. So you still have to also mention, of course, Robbie Richards in that 12 car had that spin off of 4 and down the pit entry. Still on the lead lap by about the back straightaway or so. So he's still hanging on to the lead lap here. Doing everything he can, of course, to try to stay in contention as well. Obviously, he'll need a yellow or some bad luck for those drivers in front of him, but I say all you can do right now is just try to do everything you can, keep it clean, and stay on this lead lap, and you never know how things will unfold as this race progresses. So it looks like leader's still going to stay out here. That's going to bring us to 47 to go. So now we're going to keep an eye on the second group led by James Ledford. See if anybody's going to make a pit stop. I'm thinking everybody's probably afraid to get trapped a lap down. So that might be the plan here, is just to run this thing out, run the fuel out, and then make your pit stop. So we'll see if that's actually the strategy or not. But right now, those top three looks like they're kind of just doing what you're saying, is just trying to ride here and just take it easy, and then again let things cycle through the pit stops and everything. However, like we mentioned, that second group though, not so much. They're pretty still. Well, actually, they're single file here right now too, but there's still some movement. Drivers trying to jockey for a little bit of position here, especially right now with that 88 and the 199.
Yeah, I think Josh has got the damages slowing him down a little bit, and Michael wants to get it, but he just can't quite pull it off.
Yeah, so the driver I'm a little curious about here is that one of Gabe Butler. I mean, we know he's really good at the plate races, especially on the Sunday series with very different cars. However, he's got about 6 laps less on his fuel. Oh, as they say that the 199 is getting, he's going to get contact there. It's going to send him around. It's going to bring a yellow out. He's upside down on his roof. Let's see if he's able to maybe, hopefully, for his sake, get back on his tires. But looks like he's going to have to take a tow here, and that could risk getting him trapped a lap down. However, he would be the only car lap down, but yeah, so that's going to put us back under yellow. That 88 of Michael Spell, he's got damage as well here. Let's go back and take a closer look at that incident there. All right, I'll get it pulled up here. So I think it may have been a similar deal here. So you can see the 199 kind of running the middle line here. You see the one of Gabe Butler is pretty close to his rear bumper here. You see there, I mean, still got a couple feet away from each other. But right on the interior, just right off the bat, that 199 to start stepping out there. I mean, it also may have been a little bit of damage that kind of hurt his chances of keeping that car a little bit better under control. It tries to hang on to it, unfortunately, say clips that one of Gabe Butler. Looks like a little bit of damage to his car. And saying, however, that 88 car, the 3 on our side, to say, actually he goes for a bit of a ride, flips up and over. At least that looks like the one time gets back on his wheels. However, motor damage for him. But he's able to keep going. It looks like the one, like I mentioned, has a little bit of damage, but I think as a whole, probably pretty repairable. So that's going to open up pit road here, and I think that was exactly why those drivers were waiting to make their pit stops. So you're going to see everybody come in here, and I don't think you're going to see any strategy. I think you're going to see 4 tires, fuel, damage repair for some, fast repairs for others, and then we're going to restart here with just over 40 to go. So again, we'll step away for just a moment. We'll keep an eye on these pit stops though, and we'll rejoin and update the field here on the 1 to go. All right, lights are back off on the pace car, so it looks like Chad Wilkes able to grab the lead under that pit stop cycle. So he's trying to keep an eye on that 199 car, see if he was able to sneak out of the pits there in time to try to get out there and grab a lap, or not lose a second lap. Let's say, unfortunately, showing 2 down right now. So let's say we'll see if he's able to get that fixed. Let's say we're kind of waiting to see on that one. It looks like you got the 12 and the 1 are in the pits here as well, getting some more service to their cars. And yeah, it looks like a little bit of, it looks like 4 tires and fuel for pretty much the top 6. It looks like Kenny Kolakowski did some damage repair to his car. Same for the 44 of Dwight Plesh. And then I believe it looks like that 1 and the 12 are also getting a little bit more damage repaired as well. I say 199 is back on track there, so he's going to unfortunately be showing 2 laps down, so he's going to need a little bit of a break to be able to get back onto the lead lap. But again, he's the only car a lap down, so should a caution come out, as long as he's not involved, he'll be able to get one of those back. And of course, if he wants to, he can try to see if he can get up there and get one the old-fashioned way too. It's kind of one of those 2 birds with 1 stone approach, which is always a possibility as well, especially here at Daytona. Alright, so pace car's about to peel off. Front row showing the 17 Chad Wilkes, 72 of Eric Schaus. Looks like, unfortunately, actually, I'm trying to find. There's Todd Merkel. Sorry, he was in 5th. I was trying to hunt him down there. Lost him there for a second. But I'll say green flag's back in the air. Looks like pretty equal starts for these top 2 here. I'll say it looks like James Ledford, though, he's making his way up there. Say started on the pole, I'll say, and then now has worked his way back up towards the front here. So yeah, so say right now you can see the top 5 all bunched together here, really close quarters right now. Ted Decker joining that fight as well. It looks like a few of those others are kind of lagging back just a little bit. Hopefully, I'll say if I'm in that position, I'm just cruising just a little further back, trying to keep it safe there. However, that one of Gabe Butler, he had a really long pit stop there, and so he's actually about 3/4 of a lap down here. He just crossed the start-finish line while the leaders are going through turns 1, or coming out of turn 4, I should say. And so he's going to enter turn 1 as they come through the trioval here. So at the line that time by, Eric Schaus leads that lap. But right now you can see, again, everybody's pretty much doubled up here as they go through turn number 1. Man, I get nervous. I just see how much these cars kind of kick out entering the turns. Say next time by we're going to be at 40 to go, so not too many laps away from getting to that halfway mark. But yeah, right now it's pretty much anybody's race. Still, say a lot of drivers here, all in the mix. Close. See, you look like Roy Wheeler's thinking about making it 3 wide. He stays 2 wide though. See Ted Decker getting a little high there in the 79 car, able to keep it off the wall and keep things going, but he's going to lose a spot there to the 12 of Robbie Richards. Looks like Chad Wilkes is able to grab that lead and hang on to it, so that's going to put these top 2 here single file. Right behind them, James Ledford able to clear as well, so now the next battle is for the 4th position with Roy Wheeler here and Todd Merkel. And say again, learning some stuff about some of these drivers as they've been joining the league and everything. Pretty cool with Todd there in the 81 cars. He actually does drag racing in a pro stock car, so you'll see some of those sponsors. I'll say it's hard to see as they fly by there, but does some racing. I believe he has his own race engine shop there. So yeah, a pretty cool deal that he's able to do there. And say definitely putting this 81 car, giving it a pretty good show right now.
I think Roy needs to be careful because Todd's pushing up a little bit in those corners, and that's a narrower track than Talladega.
Yeah, so I'm always nervous. I'm honestly more nervous usually in the straightaways when I'm racing than the turns. But yeah, you're right though. It's easy to wash these things up just a little bit. And it looks like they do wind up singling out here. So you got most of the field here now running single file. So you see the Michael Spohl trying to get to the inside of Dwight Plesh there. But yeah, so most of the field right now running single file here for the moment. Again, I think next time by it's going to be halfway here at Daytona. Again, so still got a ways to go, and so you see one just hanging off just off the back there is the 14 of Kenny Kolakowski. Honestly, I feel like that's actually a pretty good place to be here for myself personally. just out of the draft. I think he might still be able to grab the toe if he needs to. However, though, these leaders are coming up pretty quickly now on getting up to that one car of Gabe Butler. They're probably just a couple seconds away here. I think about 2-3 seconds away from that car. So that could definitely also kind of play into how this race, how they're able to get through that lap traffic a little bit.
And Gabe goes through pit road.
Well, I'll say maybe not the night he was looking for. I'll say that is a nice thing to do, though. I'll say knowing that the field's coming up on him, and obviously a pretty big handful of cars there, so he's just going to drop out of the way. We'll see if maybe he uses a fast repair here and then gets back out on track, possibly, or if maybe that's going to be it for him. Looks like he's going to get back out there. I'll say, however, the downside of that now is that Gabe is going to be 1 lap down, whereas the 199 is 2 laps down. So that's going to be where the 199 was hoping to be the only car a lap down to be able to try to take advantage of that lucky dog. But that being said, though, Gabe is just now coming out of the pits in turn number 2 as the leaders are coming through the tri-oval. So again, it won't be too long before they potentially can catch him back up again. So it could be a 2-car fight here to try to get that lap back in a couple of laps.
He may have done what you suggested. He probably tried to just do the repairs under caution after the accident, and that took too long. And so now hopefully he went in and got the quick repairs so he can at least be up to speed.
Yeah, and hopefully also topped off with fuel too, because yes, it looked like Robbie up there towards the wall. I say hopefully they'll got that fast repair, or not fast repair, sorry, topped off with fuel too, because then he can run a little bit longer than these leaders. That way, maybe when they pit, he can stay out and gain some track position, see if he can benefit from maybe a timely caution or something like that. So yeah, it's good to see you, Jack. Hopefully you're doing well. So I don't know if there's any bright yellow cars for you to cheer for this evening, unfortunately. So I'll say you'll have to bring your bright yellow car in here next time you can as well. But yeah, definitely hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're enjoying your evening. I'll say right now that 17 Chad Wilkes leading the way. However, again, back bumper still full of that 72 of Eric Schaus here as we have 35 to go. Oh, we're going to have caution here. I see the 48 James Ledford make some contact off of 4. Looks like Roy Wheeler is involved as well, as is Robbie Richards. I think I saw Dwight Plush in there as well. So that's going to be a huge break for the one of Gabe Butler. So that's going to get him one of those laps, actually going to get him back on the lead lap. So that was exactly what he was hoping for. But yeah, we're going to have to see what happened to bring out the Cielo. So I saw 48 made contact, but I didn't quite catch with who he had the contact with. So let's take a look here. So he's coming out of turn number 4. Oh, he's going to get into the outside wall. That's going to send him right into the corner of the 81 of Todd Merkel. Todd's actually able to hang on to it. And then unfortunately, so you see the drivers kind of checking up and saying you see Roy Wheeler had a little bit of contact from Michael Spell. That got Roy up into the wall. So I believe Michael held on to it there, but then unfortunately, heavy contact for the 12 of Robbie Richards. Got a pretty good air there for his car. And I think, looks like, and Ted Deckard also was in the grass, just had no control. He gets the contact as well with that 12 car. So definitely some more damage for some of these drivers involved. Saw the 199 go through the grass. Car looks clean, so I think he may have gotten away with it. So I think if I'm the 199 car here, my thought is to try to take the wave around if the leaders pit. So we'll wait and see if there's any strategy here. As I say that, Eric Schaus jumps back out. So he's going to stay out of the and unfortunately that's going to hurt the 189. He won't be able to do a wave around because of that. So he may not be the happiest with with that 72 car wanting to get one of those laps back. So, but again, I think everybody's still going to have to make it on one more stop. But you see the one of Gabe Butler here. He's going to go to the top side, get that lap back, and he'll get back onto the lead lap here. So, we'll keep an eye on the pit stops here. Looks like everybody is in. Looks like at least 2 tires here for that 17 car. I'm going to wait and see if he takes 4. Looks like, yep, 4 tires for that 17 car as well. So while stops are underway here, again, we'll step away for just a moment, and then we'll rejoin you all on the 1 to go. All right, lights are back off of the pace car. So again, looks like that 72 Eric Schaus going for a little bit of pit strategy here. Stayed out there. He's going to have about 10 laps less fuel than those behind him. However, say everybody's still going to have to make a pit stop. Again, we talked about that window being roughly 25 laps or so. We're going to restart here with 31 to go. The only difference is should they make their stops under green, there's definitely going to be some potential on shorter stops for those like the 81 to 17. So we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. And yeah. Hopefully, Jack will say, well, plus side is these cars. I think the only field mapping you can do is with your right foot. So I think they'll be all right there. But yeah, so I'll say it's gonna be interesting to see how this pans out here. That one of Gabe Butler, he just went and finished up his pit stop there. He's going to have to try to hustle here and catch up to the field. So he's in turn number 2 as the field is coming out of turn number 4. So he's going to have to hopefully come up to the field with a pretty big head of steam to try to grab onto this draft here. Otherwise, he might be running by himself for a little while. So with that, though, pace car is about to peel off. Again, I'm going to put it into the hands of Eric Schaus in that 72, Todd Merkel on the outside in the 81. Wait for that green flag to fly, and again, it's going to be critical. It's getting through these gears, and it looks like leaders do a pretty good job. Looks like the 81 gets a little bit of momentum on that top side, might be able to make this move happen as they enter turn number 1, but just barely clears the 72. He's going to drop to the bottom right away, though. Make sure he fills that gap. So otherwise, that again, the inside line right now, while they're still getting up to speed, that's definitely where you want to be. So they move that 81 of Todd Merkel to the lead. As we have 31 to go, we're going to be 30 to go when they cross the line next time around.
Here comes Ted Decker. Let's see if he can hold it.
Yeah, I say Ted's trying to work that top line. He's had a pretty solid race all evening. So qualified 9th all the way up into 4th. He's working on that 17 of Chad Wilkes here for the 3rd position. And we've talked about that top side. I mean, it definitely has some pretty strong momentum if you can keep that car clean on exit. You can see right here, looks like he's actually trying to kind of keep those leaders pinned down a little bit, which will help. Oh, as I said, he gets loose, able to gain control of it again, though. Really quick hands there by that 79, though. Yeah, I'm sure that definitely caught his attention there. So keeping an eye on that one of Gabe Butler. Unfortunately, like I said, he's about a full straight back of the leaders. However, I say with that faster pair, I think he's going to be in much better shape with being able to hang on to the lead lap. I say the draft isn't nearly as critical with these cars as it is obviously with the current Cup cars. But yeah, we talked about that 79 trying to work that top side. I said that loose condition he had there hasn't stopped him. He's going to still try to work this top side here as he goes into turn 1. And plus, I mean, now that he's had it happen once, he probably knows what to expect a little more. But as I say that, he almost makes contact with Robbie Richards, or may have made contact. Oh, and looks like they make the 12 and the 44 make contact with each other. They're trying to hang on to it there. So Dwight's trying to keep it straight. Just looks like he finally got it under control there. However, unfortunately, though, for Dwight, that's going to cost him a bunch of time there. So he's going to probably fall back off the draft for sure here. So yeah, so unfortunately, it looked like they kind of initiated from the 79 having a little bit of that loose condition. Him and the 12 may have made slight contact with each other, and then from there, just kind of one of those accordion effects that we've talked about before. But again, that's really spread this field out here. You can see the top 4 are all together still. However, that 5th place car, Michael Spell, now is showing about 2 seconds off the lead. However, we are under yellow. So as I was talking about Michael Spell, I believe he just went around. So yeah, caution is back out, so let's go and see what brought out this yellow here. Alright, we're gonna watch this one, or watch the 88 or 3 in this case, the Michael Spell here as he goes into turn 1. So nobody around him, so I'm gonna say this thing just probably snapped on him here on entry. So we'll watch as he enters the turn. You can see the back end stepping out just a little bit. So you can hang on to it for a little bit, but unfortunately at some point it starts to give a little bit too much, and you can see right there it starts snapping around on him. So now the car we're going to have to keep an eye on as well in the background, there's that 199. If he's able to keep away or keep from contacting with that 3 car, he should be able to get a free pass. So we'll watch as he goes through there. Looks like he did. So with some luck, I believe that 199 is going to get one of those 2 laps back, and will be just 1 down here. So yeah, unfortunate though for Michael Spell. I'd say not too bad of a hit for him though. I think he'll be able to get that repaired pretty well if he's out of fast repairs, that is. However, again, we are back under yellow. That 81 of Todd Merkel is showing as our leader. Eric Schaus in second. And then you've got Chad Wilkes in third. And we're at 27 to go. Going to be 26 here at the line. So I feel like you're going to see pit stops here. But I think what you're going to see, as I say that, looks like some other plans for the leaders. I'm a little surprised. There's a... Oh. Todd's throwing some fakes there. So he's going to stay out, actually. 17 and Chad Wilkes on back. Looks like they all made pit stops there. But yeah, there goes that 199 of Josh Schichterman. He's going to get one of those 2 laps back. So now he's showing just 1 lap down. However, I'm actually showing Michael Spell in the 88 as being 1 down now, as well as he's sitting in the pits there. So it looks like that Josh may have to compete with the 88 to get one of those laps, or to get that lap back. So we'll keep an eye and see if he gets back on track or not as well. That being said, I'm a little surprised here that those top 3 did not pit, because I think this pit stop would have put them in their pit window. So yeah, I'm not sure about the strategy on this one. Well, I mean, obviously we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out, but could be interesting though on this one. So looks like Chad Wilkes, the first one out, he took 4 tires and fuel. So again, while they're running around here under yellow, we'll step away for just a moment and we'll join you all on the 1 to go. All right, lights are off of the pace car. You see field starting to gather back up here. You see the top 5 all together there. Looks like from 6 on back went ahead and topped off here on the 1 to go. First of which looks like will be Robbie Richards, I believe. I'll let everybody cycle through here to get a better idea of who's going to be leading. Yeah, it looks like actually it looks like James Ledford is going to be the first one that topped off there. And then, yeah, so again, we mentioned, yeah, so it looks like the 199 and the 88 car are both 1 lap down. So that's going to be a battle for that free pass position. Looks like the 88 still got some pretty severe damage, so he might have his work cut out for him. But again, so we're going to restart here with 24 to go. Again, I'm a little surprised that these top 3 did not pit. I think the rest of the field here can make it to the end should we go green on fuel. But that's why we're here. So you never know what the strategies or how they're going to work out. So we are back underway. So again, you got that 81 Todd Merkel leading the way. Eric Schaus right next to him. They're going to get through the gears here as clean as possible. Last time you saw the 81 able to jump in front. This time it looks like the 72 able to get through the gears a little bit better. He's going to drop to the inside and grab the lead. However, here comes Chad Wilkes on that top side. He's going to see if he can jump both of these guys through turn number 1 and 2, and he does. So move Chad now up into the lead. Robbie Richards are now fighting for that second position with the 72 of Eric Schaus. You see him here entering turn number 3, side by side still now for the 3rd position with Todd Merkel and Robbie Richards. Looks like Todd's going to have the momentum and get the spot. You see Robbie there dropped right behind him there, try to pick up that draft and probably try to block the shot from the 79 to get to the inside of him as well. So right now you got the top 5 just slightly broken away from James Ledford there, and you got Gabe Butler right behind him. And then a little further back in the field there, you've got the 44 and the 14, Kenny Kolakowski and Dwight Plesh. They're definitely out of the draft. However, also looks like the 88 of Michael Spell's fallen off the draft as well. So right now, though, if you're that 199 car, you're the first car one down. You just need to cruise here at the back of this lead pack. Say for some, as an admin, you don't really want to see a yellow. However, as a driver and a competitor, you want to see that yellow to get back onto the lead lap. And I have a feeling those top 3, they're going to want to, or sorry, not the top 3 anymore, but the 72, the 81, and the 79, I think they're going to want to see a yellow because, again, I don't think they can make it to the end here. So we'll have to wait and see. However, though, up in front, though, Chad Wilkes, I believe he is good to go to the end on fuel, as is that number 12 of Robbie Richards here. You can see the field here all kind of snaking a little bit through the backstretch. You see that 79 Ted Decker, he gets a pretty good run on the back. He's going to jump to the top of Todd Merkel entering turn 3, see if he can make that move. But it looks like Todd's holding pretty strong on the inside line. Oh, you can see Robbie touch the yellow line there, gets a little loose, able to gather it back up though. But yeah, close call between that 12 and the 79 as they were in 3 and 4 there. Next time around, we're going to be at 20 to go here at Daytona. Again, you see its top 5 are all pretty much, actually his front group for the most part is all pretty singled out here. One I'm going to keep an eye on is that one to Gabe Butler now that he's back on the lead lap. That car usually is, again, he's really good at these plate races, especially in the current Cup cars. So I wonder if he's maybe just trying to lay back a little bit here. Maybe, I don't know, he may be on his last faster pair as well, so maybe just trying to save the push here until the very, very end of the race, because again, this time around we're going to be at 20 to go. And right now, again, that 17 of Chad Wilkes showing as our race leader. And the question to me is going to be, when is that 72 possibly going to have to make a pit stop, as well as the 81 and the 79? Right now, the 81 and 79 have about 10 more laps on fuel than the 72 does. But yeah, so I'm pretty intrigued with how this pit strategy is going to pan out here. So you're watching these guys go through the backstretch. Looks like they're all staying pretty single file here. I think there might be, again, I think these guys are just trying to maybe now just bide their time and figure out when and where to make their moves to the end here. Again, I feel like the 17 and the 12 are both in really good shape here on fuel. Others on that same strategy are James Ledford in this 48, Gabe Butler in the 1. So those drivers are all in the top 7 here in this lead pack as well. If we do see that if we do see the 72 and the 81 and the 79 have to duck off into the pits, I think those will be the drivers to be able to capitalize on that. So again, though, you never know until the end. I'm not behind the wheel, so I'm not sure what these fuel numbers are. I'm sure a lot of these guys have been kind of crunching the numbers and kind of basing off of what they've seen with the race, the way it's gone so far. But yeah, we'll have to just kind of wait and see. It looks like James Ledford, though, he's lost a little bit of touch with the pack here. You see 199 Josh Schichterman, he's going to sneak on by here. I wonder if there's a little bit of fuel saving possibly going on as well with these guys. I wonder if that 25 lap estimate might be a little bit too high, and that's where some of these were staying out, because they said, you know what, I don't even think we can make it even if we pitted now. So yeah, I'm going to be intrigued to see how this pans out here.
I think it's kind of deceptive in these cars is they're going into turn 3 at 215, 16, 17 miles an hour. No wonder they want to spin out going in.
Yeah, so these things, I'm watching right now. I'm trying to keep an eye on the speed of, actually, I think I can pull it up here. Let me pull up the speeds of these drivers. I'm going to pull up the speeds here, see if it shows up here in just a moment. It hasn't popped up for me yet. But yeah, like you're saying,
watching it on Ted's in car here showed him at 217 going into that into 3 last time.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get my my thing to show the info. So unfortunately, something's a little bit finicky, being finicky for me at the moment. However, one thing we haven't done, let's hop onto that 79 of Ted Decker Jr. Say we'll ride on board with him here. You can watch him kind of trying to chase these cars down here in front. And so again, you can just hear him sliding through the trial between. Oh, there we go. Say speed just pulled up now. So watching here as he goes through turn number 1 and 2, you can see there he was up into the 207 or so. I think you see he's holding 200 miles an hour through the turns. Then you'll watch here as he grabs the draft of these cars in front of him. He's going to get a huge tow, and that's just going to pull that car. You can see it's starting to have that sway we talked about. You can see as he's entering turn number 3, he's already up to 216, 219 it showed on my screen here. So it just, again, shows you how fast these things are. Let's say these things are pretty fast bricks going through here at Daytona.
You figure the regular Cup car gets it like 203, maybe 204 max.
Yeah, so that's exactly what we talked about with these cars being unrestricted. They also had very big motors as well, and with these 87 cars. I believe this actually was one of the last years of the unrestricted motors, if I'm not mistaken, which was kind of, I think, part of the interest in iRacing to bring these into the mix, to be able to do that here. So I'll say we'll kind of watch the lap times of our leader here. Even without a draft in front of him, you can see here he's still entering up into the 212 there as he enters the turn. But yeah, these guys are definitely going after us. Here comes some pit stops there. We just talked about it there. It looks like Eric Schaus, Todd Merkel, Ted Deckard. Those are all drivers that stayed out from that yellow. They are all in the pits, so now it's going to leave those that stayed or that pitted now. Those are going to be drivers now up in the front 4. And again, the critical thing is if those drivers are able to hit their pit marks, get down on speed correctly. Looks like they all hit their pit boxes very well there. Looks like tires going on the 72 and the 81. Looks like Ted may be doing fuel only here in that 79 car. Looks like Ted's
going to go back to the thing, Gail. Bill Elliott set the fastest track record at Talladega was 2:12.809, and that was set in 1987.
Yeah, so I think that was probably the last year they did that there. So saying here come the leaders, though. They're going to actually put these drivers that pitted there a lap down. You see them going around Eric Schaus and the 81 of Todd Merkel. Now the next car they're going to try to chase down is that 79 of James Ledford, who again, he took fuel only, so he's got a little bit of a gap of those that took the tires. However, you're going to see Chad's got a huge head of steam here, and they're going to sneak on by that 79 car as he jumps to the top side, try to stay out of the way of the leaders. However, while they've been doing this, I'll say one I haven't really been paying too much attention to is because I kind of figure he was just right in the back here. We talked about that 199 of the 199 of Josh Sichterman. He is now showing 3rd in position. Again, still a lap down. However, he may be able to get his lap back the old-fashioned way, if this pace continues for this 199 car. So he's going to try to see. Looks like he's kind of peeking to the top of Robbie Richards here. We got 12 to go. It's going to be 11 next time around. And we're going to have to kind of wait and see if that fuel's going to hold out for these drivers here, if they can go that far on fuel, or if they may have to come in for a splash possibly towards the very end. Right now, these top 5 here, top 4 on track in position. They're all bundled here together. You see Ted Deckard trying to chase them down right now as well.
Yeah, don't count out Gabe Butler.
Yeah, so I think the sandbags might be starting to get a little bit lighter on that one car. He might be getting ready to show his actual pace there. But same time though, I mean the last plate race we had here with these cars, or I think the last 2 plate races, that 48 car James Ledford, he was able to pull off the win as well. So there's definitely a lot of cars here that can be in contention for it. We know Chad Wilkes is going to want to try to win as well, of course. And Robbie Richards, I want to say he says he's not much of a plate racer, but he seems to kind of sell himself short a little bit. So we'll see what Robbie's able to do here as well. So right now we got 4 cars here, all in contention for sure for this win. However, again, should a caution come out, I mean, that could change everything as we have 10 to go at the line. And again, too, the 17's been the one leading this pack here. So is he burning more fuel than these behind him? Because you see these guys behind seem pretty content to follow that 17 car. So I'm wondering if they're maybe playing a little bit of strategy here still, letting that 17 car here kind of just set the pace here and just save some fuel and get them that distance that they may need to get to.
Yeah, speaking of James Ledford, he's always there at the end of a race. You don't see him until it's 20 to go, and then all of a sudden there he is, and he's usually in contention.
Yeah, and there's always some strategies that you can put. I mean, there's obviously some drivers that want to be up front the whole way around and try to control the race all the way through. And you got others that definitely want to just kind of pace themselves a little bit. However, as I'm noticing the 17 and Chad Wilkes having a little bit of connectivity issues here, kind of bouncing in and out a little bit there. So that's going to be another thing for these drivers to kind of worry about as they try to follow him as best they can. The problem is, though, there's going to be times where they don't know where that car is, but looks like he's settled out now. And so it looks like he's showing like he's in pretty good shape now. So, but yeah, I'm sure that was definitely a nervous moment there for Robbie Richards in that 12 car.
Yeah, his ping settled down now. It was 175. Now it's back to 100.
So yeah, we talked about some of those things you have to worry about in these races. As I said, he looks like he's disappearing again. So, obviously, it's plus side of these cars. If you crash, it's usually not too bad on the driver unless you do some fancy upgrades and motion rigs and things like that shake you around a little bit. But at the same time, though, it's always nice when you can walk away with these cars. As I said, we've seen some pretty violent hits this evening. So, but then it runs into some of these little snags that you don't think about, like connectivity issues or like netcode that unfortunately we've seen plenty of our shares of, where you have to kind of run a bigger gap between the cars than you would normally want to, kind of thing, where you could run them right up against the door. So it's like just the e-racing versus actual racing, definitely some differentiations that you have to definitely be careful about. But right now, again, it looks like that 12 Robbie Richards got the wrong angle there through travel, able to hang on to it. I wasn't sure if that 199 was going to try to see if he could sneak around him there, but looks like looks like Josh right now. Oh, you know what? I didn't even think about this. You look at those two cars right now, you can see they're both Roy Wheeler design paint schemes. I'll say those are both Roy Wheeler sponsored drivers here. So I'll say there might be a little bit of teamwork going into play here, with maybe Josh trying to play a little bit of spoiler with that 199 car, try to help his teammate there, or sponsored teammate, if you will, in that number 12. We'll come around here to 6 to go at the line. These guys, again, they're all kind of running pretty clean here. You see Gabe Butler looking to the top side. Looks like he might be ready to start trying to show his true pace that we talked about before. However, I think he's going to have a hard fight, though, with that 48 of James Ledford. And, of course, if he's able to get around him, he's still got 2 more to try to jump around for position with that 17 and the 12. So we're going to come around to 5 to go this time by. Again, scheduled 75 lap distance. Always have the potential of green-white checkered attempts as well. But right now, these guys are, I think, especially the leaders, I think they're hoping that this thing's going to stay clean and green here to the end.
I think 2 to go, you'll see everybody pull it out.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think once we get a little closer to the end, I think that's when you're going to see the aggression really ramp up. We'll see if there's any teamwork, any strategies like that. However, these leaders are coming up on that 44 of Dwight Plesh. I'm going to try to put him a lap down. He pitted a little bit later than those leaders as well, so he's got just a little bit more fuel in that tank. However, I think the damage is what's unfortunately doing him in at the moment. You see that 17 Chad Wilkes jump to the top there, try to steal a little bit of draft from that 44 car as he enters turn number 3. And again, you can see these top 5 all running single file here. And I don't know if this is really by choice as well. These things, again, they're a handful. So you see they're going to drop to the inside of that 44. It's going to make their entry here through the travel a little trickier, which you have to be extremely careful about. Looks like they get through pretty cleanly, though. Now just wait for that 1 to clear the 44, and they'll be pretty much clear sailing here for a fair bit. They got the 14, they'll be the next car, who's about a half a straightaway ahead of them here on the backstretch.
Starting to tighten up.
Yeah, he's definitely getting closer. You see Robbie Richards starting to kind of peek a little bit further to the... as he say that, he gets loose. He's going to try to hang on to it. You see chasing up the track, catches the outside wall just a little bit there. Still trying to chase. It looks like he's got it gathered back up. So say now his goal is going to be see if he can regain that draft. That's definitely going to hurt his chances here to try to pull off this win. I say it's also given that 17 of Chad Wilkes a little bit of a breathing space here. As you can see, that's 199 of Josh Sixman trying to chase him back down now. And you see James Ledford and the one of Gabe Butler. They're working on trying to get back up there as well. I think you're going to see now with Josh, his teammate, being out of the way. Oh, as I say, that contact between the 199 and the 17. The 17 blows over on the backstretch. So he's waiting to see if he can get back on the wheels. Caution is not out yet because he's still on the grass. However, he's starting to now flip onto the track. So he's so far still staying green. So we might actually somehow stay green after all this. I say 17 getting back onto his wheels here, trying to get rolling there. So we are at the 2 to go. Let me jump up to our leaders now. Looks like James Ledford here leading the way in front of that one of Gabe Butler. And so you see the 12 of Robbie Richards trying to chase them back down as well. I say, unfortunately, I think what happened there was that 17, the 199, the 199, since his teammate wasn't there in the mix and he had a big run there. He went to the inside and just a little bit of contact between the two of them. And say so. Definitely didn't look intentional, but I'm sure regardless of that 17 is definitely not going to be happy about that. So we're going to see if we can get around to the white flag. You're going to see him come by that 17 car with that damage, unfortunately for him. And looks like we will make it to the white. And you got the top 3 all nose to tail here. So really anybody's game here for pulling off this win tonight at Daytona. Again, James Ledford leading the way. Gabe Butler right behind him in second. Robbie Richards in third. I say now it's just trying to figure out where to make the move at the right time and get the momentum you need. So where do you protect? See, James looks like he's going to protect that bottom line, running right on the yellow line. Robbie Richards actually goes below the yellow line, but gets back in line with that one car. Oh, he makes contact with the one in Gabe Butler. They're both going to go around. See, 44 Dwight Plush try to sneak by there, so it's actually going to be a nice little stroll to the finish for James Ledford. Kept it clean, able to make it to the checkered here. James Ledford going to win at Daytona. Looks like Robbie Richards is going to be able to get things pointed straight and grab that second position. And so now the question is going to be who's going to be third. Looks like the one of Gabe Butler had to take a tow. So it could wind up being, I believe, this 14 of Kenny Kolakowski. So we're going to keep an eye on him here in that 14 car. He might pull off this third place finish with the with the one in the pits. And then of course with that contact, unfortunately, between that 17 and the 199 as well. So as they go through, as he comes through turns 3 and 4, I'm going to keep an eye on that. So you hear the fireworks going off in the background for our race winner there, James Ledford. And sure enough, it looks like Kenny Kolakowski is going to pull off this third place finish here tonight at Daytona. I say definitely kind of a wild ending there with some of these drivers. And I think, say 41 or 48, James Ledford, he's already made his way through the start finish line. He's going to probably do some celebrating here tonight. So again, that was pretty wild final couple of laps here. So we'll step away for just a quick moment here, try to see if we can gather some drivers to have a chat with. And yeah, try to kind of recap what all happened there at the very end. All right, so we're gonna pull up the final lap here and say, well, we'll try to get a better look to see what happened between that 12 and the 1, so we can get a better idea of that. But we're also gonna pull in our second place finisher here, Robbie Richards, able to grab that second place finish. Kind of a wild couple of final laps here at Daytona. I mean, take us through all that craziness at the end from your point of view there.
Completely shot. I was trying to save fuel as much as I could there towards the end. I was content and run second there, save as much fuel as I could. Once I knew I had enough fuel, I was going to make the pass, and then going into, I believe it was 3, I kind of lost it, and luckily I was able to catch it, and I ended up being able to draft back up there, and I ain't quite sure what happened to the leader. He spun out, and it slowed him down a little bit, enough to catch all the way back up with him, and going down the back straightaway, the car was just wobbling. I guess just because the tires were just completely gone. And I got up beside Gabe, but I don't know if he didn't know I was there or whatever. But I let off of it because I was below the yellow line. I didn't want to run him off or wreck him. But going into 3, he looked like he got a little loose, and I tapped him in the rear, and it took us both. Not what I wanted to do.
Yeah, so like I said, I mean, these things are definitely a handful to try to keep underneath you. And like you said, that wobble on the backstretch, I think that definitely came into play as well there for some of those drivers. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty wild. Obviously, those last couple laps, once everybody started really putting their foot down towards the end there. Did you have any? I mean, I'll say, was there anything that stood out for you really with this car track combo or anything like that throughout the night?
Yeah, I think it's just these cars are just in general are hard to handle. I don't think it really had anything to do with the setup. Um, I'm still learning these things, and sure, I'm just like everybody else. I'm sure James seems to has it figured out, but um, I, to me, I mean, it's just a heavy car, and with the heavy car, it's just going to push.
Yeah, definitely could tell you guys had your hands full this evening, but I'll say definitely. I mean, I say again, I'm sure not the way you wanted to get that second place finish, but I mean, still a good run for you overall. I think you were going to be third regardless there at the end. So I definitely want to give you opportunity, any like thanks and shout outs you like to give for that result this evening.
I'm gonna thank Josh there towards the end. He could easily pass me quite a few times, but he stayed behind me and gave me and the leader plenty of room when me and him were racing. He could have passed me multiple times and decided just to stay back there and kind of just hang back. Thank him for not wrecking me. I know he ended up colliding with the leader there at the end, but uh, it, with these cars, I mean, it's hard to stay off the back bumper of people.
Yeah, I'll say I haven't looked at it too closely yet. So I have a feeling it may have been that little wobble on the backstretch like we talked about, where it's really hard to keep that thing pointed straight. So I'll see if I'm able to pull that up and maybe take a look after we finish some interviews. But definitely though, congrats on that second place run. You're definitely up in that contender spot there for most of the evening. So say enjoy it and say look forward to maybe be able to chat with you here in the soon future.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely a rough start for me. I smacked the wall one good time and spun out, and luckily caught a caution. So, but I appreciate all y'all do. It's y'all do an awesome job again. I mean, it's hard to find people who will broadcast it and actually stay committed to doing it, and y'all do a pretty darn good job of doing that. So, thank y'all.
No, I appreciate it. I definitely love being a part of this league. I say it's been a lot of fun. So I appreciate the league giving me an opportunity to kind of learn as I go and improve. And say I think it's been a pretty good partnership that we've got going on here.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thank you as well. So that's our second place finish there. Robbie Richards in the 12th. However, so we're gonna try to see if I could hunt down. I don't see, unfortunately, Kenny Kolakowski in that 14 car. So we need to pull up our race winner here in that number 48 Goodwrench machine. Say we talked about again. I believe this is now win number 3, if I'm not mistaken, for James with these plate races. So James, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you are 3 for 3 at the plate races, including, of course, the kind of the warm-up races leading into the season 5. So So it looks like you're the one to beat here at these tracks.
Yeah, I think I kind of got lucky winning this race because it was kind of like a fuel strategy win.
Well, I mean, you got to put yourself in the right position and everything like that. So let me jump back over to your car here. But I mean, yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be those strategy races and everything too. I mean, how close were you on fuel there at the end? I mean, did you think the 17 was gonna be able to make it all the way, or was he possibly gonna run out himself?
I thought he might run out. I think I had like 1.3 gallons left.
Yeah, so I mean, with you guys were in the back there drafting, saving fuel, and he was the one leading that pack most of the way. So yeah, you're definitely right. That could have been a close call for him on the fuel numbers there. But yeah, I mean, but on the other flip side of things, I mean, take us through that end there. I mean, it was obviously pretty wild there with once you guys really kind of put the hammer down at the end. So it definitely kind of shook up the results there.
Yeah, I was just taking it easy when I was behind those guys saving fuel, and I think two guys got together in front of there, and then I was the leader.
Say, do you have any worries about that one of Gabe Butler? Say, we know he's pretty good at those plate races, especially with the cup cars. I'll say maybe might have to learn a thing or two from you with these 87 cars though. But say, yeah, how worried were you with that one and the 12 in your mirrors there?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to make a move on my outside. I was just kind of holding on in the last couple of laps because you couldn't really go all out on the old tires. It was really a handful on the old tires.
Yeah, it definitely showed on that one. So with that though, say, I mean, again, great result for you able to get another win here tonight at Daytona. So again, I think that's number 2, if not 3, for the plate races. So you've been doing really well with these ones. So definitely want to give you an opportunity for any thanks and shouts you'd like to give for pulling off the win tonight.
I'll say hi to my dad. He likes to watch these races.
Well, I'll say hopefully he was able to watch tonight and see you pull off the win in that number 48 Goodwrench machine. Say again, kind of a fitting paint scheme that be able to pull off these wins. I'll say we know obviously Earnhardt was able to get plenty of wins in that Goodwrench car. So congrats again, James. I say enjoy it, and I say I look forward to chatting with you again here soon.
All right, thanks, Kyle.
All right, so that's our race winner there, James Ledford, in that number 48 Goodwrench car. So yeah, so a pretty wild couple of finishing laps there at the end. So I'll say on the broadcaster, fan, admin side, any final thoughts for you, Mr. Brooks?
Yeah, they got kind of crazy at the end, but it's hard racing, and these are not easy cars. But I think everybody did as much as you could expect as far as trying to make it to the end, and most of them did.
Yeah, I'll say definitely a wild finish there at the end between those drivers up front. Say some fuel strategy, unfortunately didn't pan out for that 79 Ted Deckard, Josh Sichterman, as well as Eric Schaus. Or sorry, not Josh Sichterman. Who am I missing there in that pit strategy there? There was somebody else that pitted there that didn't make it to the end. I know it's 79 to 72, and there. Oh, Todd Merkel. I'm sorry. However, Todd was able to at least get back up into that 6th position to recover pretty well on this one. So again, wild couple of final laps there at the end. Some fuel saving, some just outright racing at the end, and some contact between the leaders there at the end to shake up the finishing order, which we'll go ahead and pull that. Actually, let me see if it lets me pull up the results because my thing's acting up again a little teeny bit. So yeah, let me reload this again for everybody so you can actually see it. So unfortunately, when we work with technology, sometimes things don't always go completely to plan. So you have to make the best of it sometimes. So here are our final results for the evening. Race winner, that 48 of James Ledford. Number 12, Robbie Richards, brings it home in second. Kenny Kolakowski able to bring it home in third after that contact between the 12 and the 1. Gabe Butler winds up finishing in fourth. Dwight Plush fifth. Todd Merkel had to make that late pit stop. He winds up in sixth position. Ted Decker Jr., same boat there, winded up seventh. Josh Sichterman in 8th. Eric Schaus had to pit at the end as well, finishes 9th. Unfortunately, Chad Wilkes, that contact between him and that 199 on the backstretch at the end puts Chad in the 10th position. And then rounding up the final results here, you see Michael Spell, Roy Wheeler, and Art Peck. Definitely not the nights they were looking for this evening, but at the same time, say those races happen, especially at these plate races. I say it's a lot of it's unfortunately out of your control, so not they're hoping for, but there's still time for them to have some more future races and try to get some more luck turned around their way. All right, so with that said, so again, I want to thank you all for joining us here at Green White Checker TV with the Area 51 Racing League. Hope you enjoyed the race this evening. And again, if you want to watch some more racing tomorrow night, we will have the Cup Series. I'll be joined in the booth with Don Runkle Jr. again. So until tomorrow evening, I hope you all have a wonderful night tonight. And then until then, if you can, please stay home, stay safe, wash your hands.